Hi everyone, Steve Chrysler here from Bookkeeping Life. So today I want to talk about the difference between being a bookkeeper versus being an accountant. So the first thing to know is the word accountant can be used rather loosely. It can really mean quite a bit of things. So we'll get into that, but just know that going in that the word accountant is really more general, and then the word bookkeeper is really more specific as far as what it is they do. So that's the first thing to keep in mind, is that people can be throwing around the word accountant and it can mean a lot of different things, but if you throw around the word bookkeeping, it's more specific as far as what they do. So we'll get into the roles of those. So that's just kind of the first thing. The second thing is schooling. To be an accountant, it typically means a formal schooling has been involved. So maybe a 2-year degree or 4-year degree. I have a 4-year bachelor's degree in accounting. There's also a 2-year degree in accounting, but there's so you can get a certain amount of schooling so that you can become an accountant. So that you can get a job as an accountant somewhere. Then that's when you're really an accountant. But for a bookkeeper, there is no formal schooling necessary. You can start you can start on your own as a bookkeeper, or you can be hired by somebody to take over your family's business bookkeeping. Then you're actually technically a bookkeeper at that point in time. You can be fresh out of high school and start doing something like that, start your own bookkeeping business, or take over, like the families. If your family has a business and you're helping out with the bookkeeping, you're officially a bookkeeper at that time. So and it doesn't quite work that way when it comes to an accountant. It can be looked at where a bookkeeper has this many responsibilities and education and stuff like that, and an accountant has more like that. But like I said, accountant can be used rather loosely, so keep that in mind too. So the roles of a bookkeeper and the roles of an accountant are somewhat different as well. So a bookkeeper really tracks the daily money that comes and goes out of a company, and they do that with software like you probably heard of QuickBooks. So there's other software out there too, but QuickBooks is the most popular one in the United States. So a bookkeeper keeps track of all the daily money coming and going, and then nowadays they use software to do that, and so that they can generate reports. Keep track of every penny that comes into the company through income and other ways, and money that goes out of the company through expenses and other ways. But it's keeping track of all those, categorizing all of those so that they can be put into a report being generated, so that taxes can be done, and also the owners of the business or managers of the business can make management decisions based upon that information. See how much money they're making, how profitable they are, where they're spending their money, that kind of thing, so that they can change their ways and maximize their profits. So that's the bookkeeping side of things. All businesses need bookkeeping, and that's another thing that's really good about becoming a bookkeeper, is that there is a demand for it, and there always will be. As long as there's businesses, all businesses need bookkeeping. So, and then an accountant's role, they more do sort of like a higher level of, they can do all those same things that a bookkeeper does. So an accountant can do all bookkeeping tasks, but they also a lot of times do taxes, and they do more of a sort of a overlooking of the business. Consulting a lot of times are typical roles of an accountant. So, but there's different types of accountants and different types of accounting, but kind of we're talking about these general terms. So and sort of relating to bookkeeping, a lot of times a bookkeeper will communicate with an accountant couple times a year, and then for the taxes. So think of a bookkeeper as the daily operations, keeping track of, and it doesn't have to be daily, but they keep a track of daily ins and outs of money with the company. And then the accountant is more of maybe a quarterly overview, analysis, consulting kind of tax thing, and then also the end of year consulting, tax preparation, that kind of thing. So that's the common differences between the bookkeeping and taxes as far as roles are concerned. And then the need for a business for a bookkeeper versus accountant, I just touched on that a little bit, is that all businesses need bookkeeping, and need it throughout the year. Need it for, I shouldn't say they need it, like a small business doesn't need a daily bookkeeper. They could use a bookkeeper once a month or once a quarter, and sometimes they just have one for once a year to get their books together so that they can do their taxes. But a bookkeeping has to be done throughout the year, and then an accountant can be called upon every once in a while to oversee things, kind of higher level stuff, and do the taxes. A bookkeeper can also do payroll as an additional task, and an accountant can do that too. So there is overlap in the use of the terms. So the needs for a particular businesses, or all businesses, is accountants are needed every once in a while, where a bookkeeper is used more frequently. Then it comes down to like the road to becoming one of those. The road to becoming an accountant is longer because of the formal education involved. It's and they typically go to school, then you get a job as an accountant, then you're officially an accountant. So all that can take years. It should take years. And then, but a bookkeeper, you can become a bookkeeper today, literally. You could take over your family's books today, and you're really a bookkeeper at that point in time. You're a new bookkeeper, but you're still a bookkeeper. So that's the differences. A bookkeeper, you can become a bookkeeper really quickly with no formal education in bookkeeping, where an accountant is more formal and takes longer. So kind of interesting stuff as those words are being thrown around, and I get a lot of questions about that all the time, like what is bookkeeping exactly, and what's the difference between that and an accountant? You're an accountant, are you a bookkeeper? So all of the above, actually. So but if you want to become a bookkeeper, that's what we do here at Bookkeeping Life. We teach people how to start and grow their own bookkeeping business, and hopefully that sheds some light on like what it entails and the road to becoming one. It's actually really short to become a bookkeeper. So our program here at Bookkeeping Life teaches people how to start and grow their own bookkeeping business, get it up and running really quickly with really good branding, effective advertising, and talking to clients, getting clients, potential clients, talking to them, all that good stuff we cover in our program. But you can check all that down below, the link below. If you like this video, please like and share it. And if you have any questions, just email me, steve@bookkeepinglife.com. If you have any questions about what a bookkeeper does versus what an accountant does, and what we do here at Bookkeeping Life, I'm happy to help. So steve@bookkeepinglife.com, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.